Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at HSBC banking products, specifically their credit cards. Now this is a little bit of a last call video of sorts, but I will talk about that in a little bit. But typical fashion, we will familiarize ourselves with HSBC. We'll talk about why this is the last call. We'll take a look at all their credit cards, both personal and business. Then we'll come out on the other end, figuring out if there are any worth considering. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press that subscribe button. Let's get to work. Okay, so first things first, let's familiarize ourselves with HSBC because they are a pretty interesting bank that we don't really talk about a ton. So the classic did you know slide, HSBC stands for Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. They're the second largest bank in Europe with about 2.984 trillion in assets. Now that was of December 2020, so a little bit old, but to put that in context, that's right up there, right beneath where Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo are at over here in the States. So they are a pretty big corporation. Now HSBC dates all the way back to 1865 when it first opened branches in Shanghai. They're primarily focused on four core lines of business: commercial banking, global banking, and markets. That's basically investment banking. Retail banking and wealth management. That's like consumer banking, like you or I would be a part of. And then global private banking. Now, one other interesting fact about HSBC is they tend to get in trouble. Now, it's not like the Wells Fargo getting in trouble. When Wells Fargo gets in trouble, it's usually because they took advantage of consumers. For the most part, the major headlines around HSBC are usually around money laundering, specifically for the cartel. So I won't get too much into it. I just will shout out, there's a Netflix documentary, I think it's called Dirty Money, where one of the episodes they actually go into the HSBC scandal. There's also one for Wells Fargo as well. It's about a 30-45 minute watch. Definitely worth checking out if you want more information on that. But anyways, with that said, at the top of the show, I did say this is more of a last call for HSBC, and the reason that is because HSBC's retail division is leaving the U.S. market, or may even be the whole North American market. So let's take a look at that, see what that means, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. So here what you have is a standard press release from the HSBC site. So they're basically pulling out of the US market. So what that means is they are exiting 90 branches out of a current network of 148 branches. HBUS, which means HSBC's US operation, will retain a small network of physical locations in existing markets, which will be repurposed into 20 to 25 international wealth centers. The remaining branches between 35 and 40 will be wound down. So basically what this means is right now, if you take a look at their products underneath the cards, you can still apply for their products, but you will eventually end up with another bank. So with that in mind, if we jump over to the what this means for you section, this is found under all their banking products. You can see a new HSBC customer who is applying for unsecured credit or opening any other deposit account than an HSBC Premier checking, savings, or credit card account. Any HSBC accounts opened or applied for today will be transitioned to a new financial institution in the near future, and today is September 1st at the time of recording. And with that said, you can see why I'm calling this a last call video. That doesn't mean you can't apply for new cards. So really what I wanted to do is take a look at their current product lineup, see if there's anything worth considering before they leave forever. So let's start out with taking a look at the rewards, and then we'll take a look at all the cards, both personal and business themselves. So first things first, HSBC rewards. Cards earn cash back or travel points. The cash back can be redeemed into an HSBC account or statement credit, gift cards, or merchandise. There is a travel portal, and the rates do vary card by card, anywhere from 1.25 to 1.5 cents specific to the travel cards. They also have some transfer airline partners that you will get a one-to-one transfer on. So Aeromexico, Aer Lingus, British Airways, Emirates, Iberia, Jet Privileges, and Singapore Airlines are all in play. So with that being said, let's take a look at our first card, and that is the Gold card. So here we go, $0 annual fee. There's no multipliers to be had because this is basically their balance transfer card. But it does have some interesting perks here. There's a late fee waiver once per calendar year, and there is no penalty APR for late payments, meaning if you make late payments, they will not raise your APR up any higher. And of course, there are no foreign transaction fees, which is a staple of these cards as HSBC's kind of focused on international banking. Now next up, we're getting into the interesting stuff here. We have the cash rewards card. So annual fee here is $0. Your multiplier is going to be a classic 1.5x on all purchases. And the benefits here, I am noting it is MasterCard World Elite. And I'm noting it because they have the red and yellow MasterCard logo, which generally means MasterCard World. But on their site, they specifically call out the MasterCard World Elite benefits on just about all of their cards that we're going to take a look at. And there are some good benefits to be had with the World Elite program. Now, next up, we have the Premier card. So there is an annual fee of $95. However, that will be waived for Premier Banking clients. Multipliers here are going to be 2x back on travel purchases. The benefits, MasterCard World Elite, again, no foreign transaction fees. TSA pre-check credit. It's important to note, most of the time you see this credit is for global entry or TSA pre-check. This is specifically only $85 for TSA pre-check. You're also going to get Boingo Wi-Fi access. So next up, that takes us to what I think is the coolest card in the lineup. That is the advanced card, at least the coolest looking card, I should say. So $45 annual fee. Now this one's also waived if you're an advanced or Premier Banking client. Multipliers here, classic 2x back on dining and entertainment. Benefits, no foreign transaction fees, and of course MasterCard World Elite status. Now that brings us into what I would call their flagship card, and that is the Elite card. So annual fee, $395. Multipliers, 3x on travel and 2x on dining. Benefits here get a little bit interesting because you have $400 travel credit annually via HSBC Travel. This time around, you do get your pick between global entry or TSA pre-check. You get lounge key membership, which is very similar to Priority Pass. There are no foreign transaction fees. Of course, you do have MasterCard World Elite status. Now, next up, they do have one business card, and that is the Fusion Business Credit Card. So, annual fee is $0. Your multipliers here are going to be a classic 1.5x on all purchases. Now, the benefits do get a little bit interesting here. It's kind of City Double Cash-esque. If you redeem your points to an HSBC Fusion checking or savings account, they will be worth 2x back. Now, really quick here, we did touch on their checking accounts, as a lot of their checking and savings accounts waive the annual fee. So, again, if you're interested, I'm going to put some screenshots up of their accounts. They have the HSBC Premier, Advanced, and Choice and Basic checking. Now, the thing to be careful here is HSBC is really targeting higher net worth individuals. You can see that with their Premier. To waive the fees, you're talking about $75,000 minimum balance in deposits or investments, or recurring direct deposits totaling at least $5,000. HSBC Advance is a little bit easier, no minimum balance with qualifying direct deposit or $5,000 in combined deposits and investments. Choice checking and basic banking don't get you any fees waived, and of course there is that business account as well. Okay guys, and so there we have it. That is HSBC's full credit card catalog in late 2021. Now, this is normally the part of the video where we talk strategy, but again, I titled this Last Call because this is really more so a look to see if anything jumped out or can be useful to you in a last call before they remove the card from the market. So a reminder, if you do go after any of these, you will eventually end up with another bank. So a few different things you could do here. Number one is sign-up bonus hunting. Now, the reason I didn't really put the sign-up bonuses in videos like this is because it doesn't age well. I don't know when exactly they're going to pull out of the market for good. So if one did interest you, go take a look at that card and the bonus, especially if you already have an HSBC relationship and you can waive the annual fees, and I think it does make a lot more sense. Now, the other one, again, on the sign-up bonus or, topping off a transfer partners, British Airways is a popular option. And, of course, you just want to rack up some quick cash back, you could do that as well. Now, for me personally, I will not be going after any of their credit cards. However, I did go after one of their checking account bonuses. I forget which one it is. I'll put it on screen. I think it's the middle child of the list, but basically I went after it because, again, they're leaving the U.S. market, so I might as well lock in this one last checking account bonus with them, get my $450 cash out, and then call it good. Now, with that being said, I want to bring this last point up here because if you do go after one of these credit card, bank account bonus, whatever product you're interested in, I think that it's very important that you document everything. Now, you should always be in the habit of documenting when you're going after a sign-up bonus for anything really, but especially here because we don't quite know where everyone's going to land yet. We do know for a fact, like my HSBC account will eventually be with another bank. And if that transition happens before the bonus pays out, it might get lost in the shuffle. You just don't really know. Banks, I've gone through a few banking mergers myself, and it's a very complex process. So again, if you're going after any one of these, just make sure you document everything. You're going to want to PDF the offer with a timestamp, track all your action items that you completed, and things like that, just in case you need it down the road. Now, for cards as a whole, I'll end on this. None of the cards really jump out on the list as must-haves to me. They're kind of weak, honestly. And on some level, I would expect a little bit more from a big bank like HSBC. But again, I think we can see it. They really focus on international spenders, or international banking, I should say, with, high spenders who are, traveling around the world. We can see that. They do bring in the World Elite benefits. They have no foreign transaction fees. And their multipliers are pretty straightforward, either travel or dining or that one cashback card. So that being said, if you're not interested in any of the use cases we just touched on, then I think it's safe to say you can pass, and you probably won't miss HSBC pulling out of the market. So anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, on Sundays, we have that recap episode that is all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question for you guys is, let me know what you think about HSBC's product lineup. Are you interested in any of the credit cards with the bank account bonuses as a last call, or are you saying good riddance to HSBC and their U.S. market stay? Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.